I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're diving into a powerful book. It is called Messianic Prophecies Cross-Examined, and it's written by a terrific author, Loujan Jubin Matin. It is a riveting exploration of ancient texts and the Messiah's foretold role. This book, nominated for the Eric Hoffer Award, reimagines Jesus' Sanhedrin trial with powerful legal and spiritual arguments that will challenge your perspective. From theological mysteries to thought-provoking questions about his second coming, this is a must-read for anyone seeking deeper biblical insight. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Good River Print and Media for helping us put him in the spotlight today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Loujan, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Honored to be here. Honored to be here.
This is a tremendous work, and apparently this is a scholarly study. This began as a thesis. Tell us a little bit about its origins.
Let me go back to how I started. I was born in a staunch family that Jesus is the Christ in an Islamic country of Iran. And my mother told me that all you need to know is Jesus is the Christ. In this country, that's all you need to know. I grew up with it. Went to high school, met some of my Jewish classmates, and naturally I brought it up that Jesus is the Christ. Not so. It was shocking to me that it wasn't accepted that Jesus is the Christ. So I had to defend it. I had to defend my belief that he is the one, that I had nothing in me. I had no evidence behind me that would prove that, yes, Jesus is the Messiah, is the Christ. So that was a spark of ignorance was fired within me, that how much I did not know about the evidence of Jesus being the Messiah, being the Christ. I had the faith, but no evidence behind it. So by the age of 17, I came to the United States. I came to Southern California and then finished high school, took up chiropractic. 6 years later, I got married, had a lucrative practice, got 2 daughters. However, that spark, as I grew older, it got brighter. That spark of ignorance became a fire of ignorance. I had faith, but no supportive evidence. The older I got, the brighter that fire of ignorance got, to the point that it was consuming me. And I'm going to fast forward 38 years later in practice. Thank God I had a very lucrative practice. I was able to retire early and enroll in a Southern Baptist Evangelical University. Paid my tuition, got through the application process, and then studied 25, feels like infinite number of books, learned Hebrew, biblical Hebrew, failed it miserably. I had to hire a tutor to assist me with vocabulary, with the grammar, with the complex prophecies, and take the exam. And thank God, and that tutor, I was able to barely pass the Hebrew, the biblical Hebrew. And this is all one side. And then I wrote my thesis. It took me 4 years. The focus of the thesis was, is Jesus the Christ? Now, the same question that was posed to me when I was 14, 15 years of age back in Iran, now I am equipped academically to respond to the question I had some 30, 40 years earlier. Is Jesus the Christ? Academically, I believed he was, but I had now voluminous books in front of me to prove that he is the one. So when my thesis was finished with, when I graduated 2022, I got my master's in MTS, Master in Theological Studies, submitted my manuscript to Zondervan, which is a 800-pound gorilla. There's the Google of the industry, of Christian publishing industries. Most prestigious, most sought after, anything. I submitted my manuscript to them, and after 2 weeks, the editor called me back and said, what you've written is life-changing. However, we cannot publish it. Logan, it crushed me. It crushed me. I mean, I'm so prepared. Everything ready. Why not? She said, it's highly technical. too complex. It was exciting between you and your advisor. I had to defend my thesis before my advisor back in school. However, people will not understand what you've written and will not tell anyone about it if they buy it. It took me halfway through the book to understand what a life-changing thing you have written. We can't go forward until you give life to your thesis. I could not hear anymore. I was really deaf from that point on because it really crushed me. So I said, thank you. Let me see what I can do now. So phone got off the phone, and then I put my head on the ground. I really petitioned God. I said, God, I've given it all to this thesis. There's nothing left in my brain, my soul and heart to give more. I mean, my advisor really put me through fire to write this thesis. Everything had to be accurate, based on evidence, King James Version, everything. I said, God, I have nothing left within me. What? And she wants me to give life. I'm no Hollywood material. She wants me to give life to this book, basically, to this thesis. What? Before I finished my question, the Lord responded. A moment of connection, the divine took place. It was like a butterfly touch in my soul. However, to my soul, it was like a lightning, the force of a lightning. It was a very slight touch, like a butterfly of divine on my soul. But my soul experienced a lightning of inspiration. Oh my God, what an idea. I was inspired with the most, I know I'm not that smart to come up with such an idea. This was Hollywood level. I'm going to tell you what the idea was, but before I tell you, for the audience who do not know what Sanhedrin trial is, I'm going to explain what that is, and then it makes sense what the idea was. 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, when Jesus was in Sanhedrin trial, he was found guilty of sedition and blasphemy because of a lot of different things. But he was quiet. He was generally quiet. He never said anything during his trial. Then found was guilty, and a crucifixion took place. Now, having that story is in the Bible. Having known that story, this is the idea that was inspired. Lord said, you be my defense counsel. You be my attorney in that trial. Oh my God. This is how you give life to the thesis. I was the happiest, most ecstasy, joy that took place for a couple of reasons. Not only I knew how to give life to my thesis, secondly was the divine connection that took place. I cannot describe it. That's not beyond the purpose of this interview, but the joy of two things that gave me wings. Anyway, I took another extra year to convert my thesis to the book, given me that I am the attorney of Jesus Christ. After 2,000 years of silence, this recent graduate from theology school is representing Jesus Christ in a Sanhedrin trial. Oh my God, what a riveting story it turned out to be. So that's what is the nutshell of what this book is all about.
Well, it's an amazing backstory and certainly an amazing literary device that you were blessed with, inspired with, to tell this story that, being the lawyer for Jesus, it's so imaginative, so creative, and so readable, and which is what's great about it, for sure. For the folks at home, let's talk a little bit about the key questions about messianic prophecies that the book addresses.
Okay.
So what were some of the key prophecies addressed in the book?
Very interesting. Book of Acts talk about it, that Jesus was not the only one who claimed to be the Messiah. This was shocking to me. For everyone whose name I mentioned in my thesis, there were 1,000 others who also claimed to be the Messiah. This was shocking to me. The three most renowned, the most known individuals who have claimed to be Messiah is Jesus of Nazareth, Simon Bar Kokhba, and Sabadi Zabi. These two other people have also made they are the Messiah. They have followers right now in Smyrna, Turkey. And they believe that Jesus is a false Messiah. They have 100,000 followers. So in my thesis, I had to disqualify the false messiahs.
Mm.
So that was one of the questions I asked.
Yeah.
How would I discern? If we go back 2,000 years ago, how would you know Jesus is the Messiah? And there are many others who claim the exact same thing. How could you discern who is the one? So to answer that question, I created this thesis.
Wonderful, wonderful. And that is amazing. I had no clue that others had presented themselves as the Messiah, a Messiah during that era as well. What did you find was the most compelling, the most clear and compelling evidence that Jesus Christ is indeed the Son of God?
33 prophecies. 33 prophecies of the Jewish Holy Scripture. There are more than 300 prophecies about this coming, but I had a limited only 150 pages to write my thesis. So I selected 33 prophecies and identified the biography of Jesus Christ, Sabbat Zavi, and the other fellow, I forget his name, Sabbat Zavi, and I forget his name. They identified the biography of these two from IMFA, Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The biography of these two have been really researched academically. So I identified the biography of these three people and juxtaposed them against the prophecies. Mm. If you are the one, therefore your biography should confirm that. And that was the process by which I really examined, filtered the false messiahs out.
Wonderful. Just like a court case, which is what makes this book so compelling. What do you hope readers take away from your book? Do you hope it satisfies their intellectual curiosity and skepticism that you had after encountering those people of different faith?
They would discover 33 keys to the entrance to the kingdom of God. They would discover that 33 prophecies, each one is a key to enter the kingdom. So that is what I would hope that they would take out from this. This subtitle of my book is 33 Keys to the Kingdom of God. So that's what it boils down to.
Wonderful, wonderful. And this book, of course, has been very well received, has gotten many, many accolades, including a nomination for the Eric Hoffer Award. Tell us a little bit about that honor.
At this time, it's basically nominated. It is many, basically nominees. There are many awards, but Eric Hoffer is the most recognized, most prestigious. There are different genres of Eric Hoffer. There's one religious, the fictitious, scientific, sport, different genre of within that award. I have been nominated as on the religious section of the genre of Eric Hoffer Award.
Amazing. Well, it's very, very well deserved because this is very much a profound book. It lends itself to cinema. I could see it being translated into a movie very, very easily. Have you thought about the prospect of this becoming a film at all?
Yes, I have numbers of time.
And any idea who would play the attorney who would be defending Jesus?
I'm looking at him.
Well, that's a role I would love. That'd be awesome.
I think an Emmy Award winner, actor, journalist, who would be better to represent the lawyer and the court than you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, looking forward to it getting made then, because I'd love to audition for you and I would love to play that role without a doubt. And I understand you've got some great news about your upcoming studies. You're going into a PhD program or continuing your PhD program. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, the first 4 years of my training, master's was about the first coming of Christ. Now I've been admitted into a PhD program next 4 years, which is about the second coming of Christ, academic investigation of the second coming of Christ. So that with my dissertation, it'll be turning in my second book, which we are right now. I'm done with the first year of my PhD program, 3 more years to go. I'm looking forward to those 3 more years to put together my thoughts.
Wonderful. And your work now will focus on the second coming of Christ?
Yes.
Okay.
Currently, I am working on that end of time prophecies, and how just it's beautiful, not just beautiful, it's just phenomenal. What the scriptures say, what the I don't want to get into it, but it's beautiful. Yes, I'm looking. Yes.
Sounds wonderful. The name of the book is Messianic Prophecies Cross-Examined. It is a riveting exploration of the ancient texts and the Messiah's foretold role. This book has been nominated for the Eric Hoffer Award, as we just mentioned, and in it, the author reimagines Jesus's Sanhedrin trial with powerful legal and spiritual arguments that will challenge your perspectives. Loujan, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate your time, your wisdom, and your insight in the research it took to create this wonderful book. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time until next time on Spotlight.